I had disliked a lot of things that he was saying, and how he was acting, being that, me, I'm a real individual. I just felt like, we was all cool at one point in time. And
now remember this.
Sounds familiar.
No. I was older than Canelo is when I beat Canelo. So now imagine seeing Canelo at 36 and me at 36 and we fight.
24 world champions, 5 divisions conquered, best defender of all time, right? Bud Crawford surpasses him in accolades because of the undisputed in 3 divisions. Both of them are fighters that fought great into their late 30s. However, Floyd has a deeper resume.
In a live interview, Terence Crawford confidently spoke about Floyd Mayweather and his own legacy. He said that Floyd's era in boxing is already over and declared that the current era belongs to him. Crawford stressed that Mayweather's reign has finished and that the spotlight should now be on him as the sport's leading figure. With clear conviction, he presented himself as the fighter moving boxing forward for today's generation.
Because for Jake and Tyson and some people like the likes of Carl Froch viewed that as an endorsement. Like, look, man, I'm just working. It's a big opportunity to be on Netflix. I didn't put the fight together. I'm not paying these guys. So, let's chill out. But all right, I'm not going to poo-poo this. I just don't know what CSI is. And the way it was presented made me think that there was like a secondary press release to come, that they'll be involved in like some sort of like virtual boxing thing. Like, it just didn't seem real. You know why it didn't seem real? I'll tell you why. There's no date attached to it. There's no venue attached to it. Forget rules, exhibition, not exhibition, weight. I mean, here's a guy who fought a heavyweight fighting forget all that. These things can get figured out, the fine details. The fact that it was announced, why announce something with no date or location attached to it? What's the point? Unless you're just trying to get people excited and trying to get them, trying to get some investors or something like that.
But maybe also testing the waters. If the response was overwhelmingly positive, maybe you go, okay, we move forward. If the response is muted or negative, maybe you go, okay, we're not going to actually do this. You lob it out there as a way to poll the public, and then make an adjustment.
So you don't think it happens?
I do not think it happens. I just don't think there will be enough interest. I know they have huge name value. There's zero, after the last performance by Mike Tyson against Jake Paul, I don't think there's going to be interest in seeing Mike.
Floyd Mayweather reminded fans that he also schooled Canelo Alvarez when he was already older, showing his superior skill and experience. He argued that Terence Crawford defeating Canelo shouldn't be viewed as an extraordinary accomplishment since both of their major wins came against the same opponent. For Floyd, this proves that his own victory is still the greater achievement, and that Crawford's win does not elevate him above Mayweather's legacy.
Canelo is a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. And everyone is now saying that he's not the same fighter. He's not looking the same. Now remember this.
Sounds familiar.
No. I was older than Canelo is when I beat Canelo. So now imagine seeing Canelo at 36 and me at 36 and we fight. And now what y'all gonna say? Well, now he got what? I don't know how many fights he got.
Some analysts claim that Terence Crawford cannot be compared to Floyd Mayweather yet because he doesn't have the flawless 52-0 record that Floyd proudly holds. They argue that to truly surpass Mayweather's greatness, Crawford must do more than defeat skilled opponents like Canelo Alvarez. Many suggest that Crawford should move up in weight and face David Benavidez, a dangerous and physically imposing fighter. A win over Benavidez would not only show Crawford's fearlessness, but also prove his ability to overcome one of boxing's toughest challenges today. Without such a victory, some experts maintain that Crawford will not be remembered on Mayweather's level despite his current accomplishments.
Floyd's record, right? Floyd's legacy is 50-0, 24 world champions, 5 divisions conquered, best defender of all time, right? Bud Crawford surpasses him in accolades because of the undisputed in 3 divisions. Both of them are fighters that fought great into their late 30s. However, Floyd has a deeper resume than Bud Crawford, but both of their best wins are Canelo Alvarez. Canelo was a younger, greener Canelo when Floyd beat him. Bud beat an older, slower, but more seasoned Canelo. Now, Bud's not going to surpass Floyd because of the record. He's not going to make 50-0. Bud has to separate himself. What he has to do is do something that Floyd didn't do. Take on the challenges that people were scared for you to take. Just that's what separates Leonard and Duran from the rest. If Bud Crawford beats David Benavidez, he will surpass Floyd Mayweather as far as on the all-time list. As of right now, if Bud Crawford retires, I would have him somewhere around the top 5.
Trainer Robert Garcia offers a different perspective on the matter. He believes Terence Crawford is unlikely to jeopardize his legacy by facing David Benavidez. According to Garcia, Crawford is a smart fighter who understands how to secure his place in history without exposing himself to unnecessary danger. Benavidez carries a major size advantage and presents a serious threat that could potentially end Crawford's undefeated record. For Garcia, the risk outweighs the reward because Crawford already has an outstanding resume and doesn't need to prove himself by fighting outside his natural weight division. His view underscores the ongoing debate between taking legacy-defining risks and preserving an almost flawless career.
There's no way. Crawford just got the biggest win in his career and one of the biggest wins in history. He doesn't need to go out there and risk. But that is too big, too strong. We don't want to see a champion do so much and accomplish so much and then end his career with a bad choice, a bad fight that he shouldn't take. I wouldn't do it.
Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle, shared his view that although Terence Crawford clearly outboxed Canelo Alvarez, it shouldn't be treated as the ultimate measuring stick. He noted that Canelo was no longer the fighter he once was, pointing out that Alvarez didn't throw punches with the same sharpness or power as before. Jeff explained that prior to this fight, many doubted Crawford and questioned the quality of his opposition, and even after beating Canelo, some still downplay his accomplishment. According to Jeff, the win was impressive, but must be seen in context. Canelo was not at his absolute prime, so the victory doesn't automatically place Crawford beyond all criticism.
Canelo knocks him out in the first half of the fight because he couldn't handle the power, and obviously that proved not to be, or to be the case, that Crawford could definitely handle the power. Were you surprised that, it didn't look like, maybe once or twice looked like maybe Crawford felt it, but never in any kind of real trouble?
Yeah, I don't think that Canelo really hit him. I mean, he hit him a couple times clean, but I mean, Crawford, Crawford's a big guy too. Crawford took it like it was nothing. I mean, he hit Canelo a few times. I mean, and Canelo took it as well. So I mean, basically, at the end of the day, I mean, they both took decent shots from each other, but Crawford just didn't get hit as much as Canelo did.
Do you think that was a case of you can't Canelo's a guy that's not out there throwing huge combinations, like he's more of a punch at a time kind of guy, and that's not going to work against someone as slick and talented as Bud Crawford?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, basically, Canelo was looking for just one big shot, trying to land a big shot on Crawford, but Crawford wasn't having it. And Crawford at times would say, I guess he would say to himself, I need to, do a little more work. And basically, and it seemed like he just did that, and he would let his hands.
Legendary fighter Roy Jones Jr. offered a critical perspective on Floyd Mayweather's legacy. He argued that aside from facing Canelo Alvarez, Floyd did not consistently fight the very best opponents of his era while they were in their prime. Jones questioned how Mayweather is often labeled the greatest when much of his resume features fighters who were smaller, older, or past their peak. He suggested that the legend status attached to Mayweather is inflated compared to what he actually accomplished. For Roy Jones Jr., although Floyd's undefeated record is historic, the quality of his opposition and the timing of his matchups leave room for debate, especially when comparing him to versatile fighters like Terence Crawford.
Is Floyd Mayweather top 5?
No, not in my book. No,
not even top 10.
Maybe top 10 in my book, yeah, but not top 5. He's maybe top 10, but not top 5. Floyd can fight, don't get it wrong. Floyd can fight, but here's what my problem is. Well, I understand, I know you're a Floyd fan, but here's my problem. Who did Floyd fight that was on his level when he fought? Only Canelo. That's it. Don't give me that stuff about the other guy that was going to prison. He know he going to prison when he get through. And then to take it even further,
he fought Cotto.
Cotto was not on his
Pacquiao,
level. Wait. See, stop. Let me finish first. Cotto.
You asked me a question.
Cotto already was done. And Cotto an all-time great? No. Cotto's all-time Puerto Rican great. Cotto's not an all-time great in boxing.
I agree with you.
He's an all-time Puerto Rican great.
I agree
All right,
with
so that's not a great fight. That's not on your level. Pacquiao, you waited till Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez before you fought him. If you'd have fought him 4 years ago, it'd have been something. Because both of y'all were here. We'd have found out who the best was. You waited till Marquez knocked him out, now you fought him. If I wait till somebody beat James Toney before I fight him, do I get credit for being the greatest fighter of all time because I beat James Toney?
No, you don't.
No, I don't. So my point is, you didn't do it the right way. You know that. Who else did you fight besides them biggest, best 2 names you can pull up besides Canelo?
What I'm saying is that who do you think around that time would have even beaten Floyd that he didn't fight?
So my point is, I'm not gonna say who
because
would
I can't name a person.
I'm not gonna say who would have beat Floyd. Like I said, I'm just saying Floyd never fought nobody that was of his equal. He didn't fight a James Toney. He didn't go looking for a James.
A separate analyst emphasized the distinction between popularity and pure skill. He acknowledged that Floyd Mayweather's global fan base is unmatched, built on his long undefeated run and massive pay-per-view success. But when judging talent alone, he suggested that Terence Crawford may surpass Floyd. Crawford's natural southpaw ability, paired with his rare talent for switching stances effortlessly mid-fight, allows him to adjust to any opponent. This versatility has led many to argue that Crawford's technical abilities exceed even Mayweather's. The debate raises a broader question in boxing: should greatness be defined by worldwide fame and numbers, or by raw skill and adaptability inside the ring?
Terence Crawford versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. Who wins this fight? I'm going with Terence Crawford, and I don't think that's unpopular or crazy to say. I think most people will agree with me. I understand Floyd Mayweather has a lot of fans out there, but the truth is, as great as Floyd Mayweather is, Terence Crawford is one of one. And I say that because who else has knockout power in both hands, is able to switch stances between orthodox and southpaw so seamlessly while having great footwork? It's not like Terence Crawford is some stationary target or a flat-footed fighter that's going to be chasing Floyd around. Terence Crawford knows how to cut the ring off. He has tremendous ring IQ. And not only is he a great boxer, but he's a great fighter. He'll be able to make it dirty. If he is on the inside with Floyd, that power will carry him far. And I just don't see how Floyd will be able to beat a Terence Crawford. I really don't see it. I understand Floyd's defense is incredible, but he is smaller than Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford would have a significant reach advantage on Floyd Mayweather. I believe Terence Crawford would also be taller than Floyd Mayweather, as well as all the skillful and technical aspects of what I just laid out prior. So I don't understand how anybody could pick Floyd Mayweather to beat Terence Crawford. Styles make fights, and I believe Terence has the style to beat one Floyd Mayweather. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Whether you agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. Join the discussion, subscribe for more, and leave a like if you enjoyed the time spent. Thank you. You are all appreciated.
Former world champion Shane Mosley offered a direct comparison between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. He pointed out that Crawford's natural size gives him an advantage Mayweather never possessed. As a naturally bigger fighter, Crawford can move through multiple weight divisions while still keeping his power and strength. Mosley noted that while Floyd excelled in defense and timing, Crawford's physical attributes allow him to dominate opponents in ways Mayweather could not. For Mosley, this makes comparisons between them unfair because Crawford's frame and natural build provide opportunities Floyd simply didn't have.
Think better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually taking more in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford.
Jeff Mayweather also reminded fans that when Floyd faced Canelo Alvarez, he was already past his prime. Despite being older, slower, and less sharp than in his younger years, Floyd outclassed Canelo using experience, defense, and ring IQ. This perspective underscores the difference between Floyd's victory over Canelo and Crawford's. Jeff noted that while Crawford beat a more experienced Canelo, Floyd did it when he was no longer at his peak, making his achievement even more remarkable. For Jeff, this context shows that Floyd's greatness remains unmatched, even as Crawford continues to add wins to his record.
Also, if we remember, Canelo that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course.
Yeah, nobody had it.
And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So
yeah, what was Canelo? What, 20 something? 20 what? 23, 25?
Yeah, very, very young in the game, obviously.
Yeah, very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah, but
man, that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people. But
How you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you at 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose? I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, so, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
But I mean,
make himself look like he did something great.
Crawford has addressed comparisons with Floyd Mayweather, acknowledging all of Floyd's achievements and recognizing his lasting legacy. However, he stresses that Mayweather belonged to his era, and every era eventually passes. Crawford explained that greatness is not permanent, and that a new generation will always emerge to take the spotlight, presenting himself as today's top fighter. He shows respect for Floyd's accomplishments while confidently positioning himself as the leading figure in modern boxing.
Gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you? Keyshawn beat Tank?
Keyshawn beat everybody. Him and Shakur.
How you feel about them not fighting each other? That's cool?
Yeah, that's cool. They don't need to fight each other.
Was there anybody ever...
They can beat up everybody else.
Was there anybody ever like that in boxing with you? Because not really Sean Porter, right?
No. Nope.
No friends in this business for you.
I think Tim Bradley would have been like that.
Okay.
I think me and Tim Bradley would have been like that. I wouldn't have fought Tim.
If the opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you would have, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great. But you
Floyd, yeah, because I wasn't as close. Me and Floyd close now, but when Floyd was boxing, I wasn't as close with Floyd like I am now.
How do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code.
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore. So that fight ain't gonna happen.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you?
I think you got your answer there.
Nah, I didn't hear nothing. Is Floyd better than you? Some fighters say, even like Gervonta Davis.
Beat your...
Okay, that's a no.
Trainer Greg Hackett praised Terence Crawford following his win over Canelo Alvarez, calling it a victory that cemented Crawford's legacy above Canelo's. However, Hackett clarified that this doesn't place Crawford above Floyd Mayweather. He emphasized that while the Canelo win is career-defining, it doesn't diminish Floyd's accomplishments over decades. In Hackett's view, Crawford deserves credit for such a dominant performance, but comparisons to Mayweather should be made cautiously, as Floyd's body of work remains far greater and more established.
Because you gotta remember, Canelo is the guy right now in the sport that's supposed to be the man, big bad wolf. You beat him, you the wolf. Now it's like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, who else I'm gonna fight? You beat the shark, you beat the wolf. Damn. Like, you know what I mean? Ain't no more ops out there. It's ops out there, but who gonna make them really want to get up? That's the
shit gotta make sense. Like you said, you be the shark and then you be the wolf.
Yeah.
But there's the monster.
Yeah, there is, but that's like a real monster.
Bro, that's to me it don't make sense. But that's
really
what
a monster.
Yo, is that proof? All right, we got the legendary Pape in the building. Legend.
Chillin'.
But what makes sense? Like, what makes the most sense? I know you said get a line of suits, Brooks Brothers.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Your line suits get your money, man. Go ahead and get the easy money. You ain't gotta sweat no more.
What's up,
Not saying you ain't gotta work, you ain't gotta sweat.
What's happening?
He's paved a career where he could sit down at a table and get this money. He could come out with a Terence Crawford series now, just doing whatever he like to do. People gonna watch it. Nobody, the fighting part, people don't understand what it's like to be a fighter. A lot of times the fighters really don't be interested in certain fights. It's cause when a guy see himself up here and then is fighting a guy down here, it don't interest him. So therefore, when he train, he not gonna really train. He gonna train, but he not gonna train. He not gonna listen. He gonna feel like his coach taking it too serious, and he's like, man, this ain't even that. But your coach like, listen, you gonna get fucked up. I'm telling you. You don't want to listen. Then you go in there and fight that guy. Then you get. I seen it happen.
Former champion Shawn Porter discussed Crawford's victory over Canelo on his podcast, emphasizing its significance. He noted that Crawford didn't just meet the challenge, he dominated Canelo in a way few expected. According to Porter, the fight demonstrated that Crawford's skills translate across multiple weight classes and against diverse fighting styles, showcasing his adaptability, technical excellence, and mental toughness at the sport's highest level.
Jake and Tyson and you know, some people like the likes of Carl Froch viewed that as an endorsement. Like, look, man, I'm just working. It's a big opportunity to be on Netflix. I didn't put the fight together. I'm not paying these guys. So, you know, let's chill out. But all right, I'm not gonna poo-poo this. I just don't know what CSI is, and the way it was presented made me think that there was like a secondary press release to come, that they'll be involved in like some sort of like virtual boxing thing. Like, it just didn't seem real. You know why it didn't seem real? I'll tell you why. There's no date attached to it. There's no venue attached to it. Forget rules, exhibition, not exhibition, weight. I mean, here's a guy who fought a heavyweight fighting forget all that. These things can get figured out, the fine details. The fact that it was announced, why announce something with no date or location attached to it? What's the point? Unless you're just trying to get people excited and trying to get them, you know, trying to get some investors or something like that.
But maybe also testing the waters. If the response was overwhelmingly positive, maybe you go, okay, we move forward. If the response is muted or negative, maybe you go, okay, we're not going to actually do this. You know, you lob it out there as a way to pull the public, and then make an adjustment.
So you don't think it happens?
I do not think it happens. I just don't think there will be enough interest. I know they have huge name value. There's zero, after the last performance by Mike Tyson against Jake Paul, I don't think there's going to be interest in seeing Mike.
Perhaps Crawford's most historic achievement is becoming the first boxer to be an undisputed champion in 3 different weight divisions. This feat highlights not only his versatility, but also his longevity throughout his career. Few fighters in history have dominated across multiple divisions so completely. This accomplishment cements Crawford's place in boxing history and ensures that, regardless of comparisons with Floyd Mayweather, he is already among the sport's all-time greats.
Terence "Bud" Crawford defeats Canelo Alvarez and becomes the first ever male 3-division undisputed champion in boxing history. Thank God the judges got this one right. But wow, what a technical battle this was. It was a very close fight, but as it went on, Terence was getting more and more comfortable in there. I remember in the 7th round, he even stood right in front of Canelo and fought him on the inside. Then in rounds 9 through 12, Crawford really started to open up on his flurries, gaining Canelo's respect. But the reason Crawford won this fight was because he was surprisingly durable at 168. He was able to do his thing because for the 36 minutes he was in there with Canelo, he was never really worried about what was coming back at him. I mean, Canelo just kept going to Terence's right side of his body, and that stung a couple times, but those were the really only hard shots Canelo landed. Unfortunately, this is terrible for Canelo's legacy because the smaller men beat him up, and Canelo's kind of been cherry-picking his opponents the last couple years. But well-deserved for Terence Crawford. It's gonna look amazing on his legacy. Boxing got it right tonight. On the biggest stage, with the most eyeballs, no controversy, just pure sport. And one of the best ever at the sport got it done tonight, Terence "Bud" Crawford.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more.